Hello friends and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Black 2 Nuzlocke. Right after the end of the last episode, I actually closed the game without saving, so I had to come back and grind out those levels again so that we were back on track to where we were beforehand. Apologies for the slight delay in videos. I actually strained my wrist and I've been trying to see what I could do about that for the past few days. I went out and bought a one of those really cheap splints from just our local drugstore, and it doesn't seem to be doing the job very well. Like, I've been wearing it for a bit more than a week, and it doesn't seem to be getting much better. The real mysterious part is that I have no idea how I hurt my wrist. Like, my best guess is that when I was wiping the snow off of my windshield, I didn't do it in a good way. Like, I held the wiper thingy, and I think I flicked my wrist, and it just strained it during that time. And so it's been sort of difficult to hold the controller and everything else just because I'm wearing this big splint. It's gotten a little bit better now, so I figured now might be a reasonable time to start things back up again. I'm actually thinking about starting up a new Let's Play series along with this Nuzlocke, just because, it's the Steam Winter Sale. Lots of great games are on sale. I've always wanted to play a ton of other things. One of the things that I've been planning on the entire time is waiting for the release of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, which is basically the latest addition to a very, very long historied indie game. Binding of Isaac, of course. It's pretty much Zelda, but with very dark biblical themes. I really enjoyed it. It was actually one of it's one of my all-time favorite games. I started playing it in the first year of university because my friend introduced it to me, and that basically marked the start of the end of me concentrating in class, because any boring class was just filled with me playing Isaac. Basically, all my classmates always saw me playing this dumb game in the middle of lectures, and of course they were also very distracted. They weren't too happy with me for that, but I mean, that speaks to how good a game it is, I guess. It's one of those things that you can take on the go and play anytime, and it will just completely engross you the entire time. So I'm really looking forward to that. This is going to be the final release. The creator has come out and said that he's not going to produce any more content for The Binding of Isaac, but he is releasing mod tools for it so that the community, and it is a sizable community, will be able to fix the game and change it and patch it on their own. So in that sense, I don't think I don't think Binding of Isaac will actually die out for quite some time. It's going to be, like, of course, it's getting to the end of its lifespan. It's probably already hit its peak by now. Like, I think that Afterbirth Plus will... Oh, I don't need to heal. Afterbirth Plus will bring in more players once again, but I think Isaac has already hit its peak, and it's slowly on the decline, which of course makes me sad, because it's something that's been it's something that I've been playing for a hell of a long time now. I think on Steam I have 400 hours logged, something along those lines. Me and a buddy of mine, we're avid Binding of Isaac players. Right now my account is it's pretty much 100%ed. I unlocked everything, but I need to find the last item in the game, which is like an extremely rare item. It just drops by chance. Yeah, so I was always planning on doing that. Regardless, that expansion drops on January the 3rd. But I was just looking in the Steam sale, and I just picked up the game Hyper Light Drifter. I checked out the trailer, and it seems right up my alley. I really like these sort of challenging action RPGs. The 16-bit graphics also speak to me. Like, that is what I grew up with. That's kind of, it always holds a place dear to my heart, and yeah, it just seems really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to trying to record that. I play most of these games on controller. Oh shit, Zoro is evolving. Oh, sick. Okay, wait. No. This is the real Cheryl. Oh, this is Sandslash. Okay. That's pretty cool too. I'm pretty happy with that as well. What was I saying? Yeah, I play these games while I record on controller. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's no real secret that I'm playing this on an emulator, just because it's so much more convenient to record off an emulator than it is off of a, what does this do? Oh, that's pretty decent actually. Sure, we'll get rid of Fury Cutter. It's way easier to record off an emulator than it is to record off of like a DS, portable system, just because, you know, it's, you have to hold it weird, and then like you need a capture card. But this, you can just open up OBS and record straight up. So I've been playing on a controller because I have a mechanical keyboard, and I'm really scared that the feedback noise is going to be too loud. I'm not an expert by any means of setting up sound systems, and I'm not really too sure how you can avoid those sort of noises. So yeah, I'm probably going to be playing Hyper Light Drifter on my Xbox 360 controller as well. I'm a really big fan of this controller. Actually, like, I'm someone that sort of likes to skimp out on things if possible. Like, I would buy the cheaper option whenever I can. And a few years ago, maybe last year actually, I wanted a controller just so that I could play certain games that lend themselves more to controller setups, such as, you know, Dark Souls, Risk of Rain, that sort of thing. And also so I could play Binding of Isaac co-op with my girlfriend. So she went out and got me a controller, and I was the one that told her, you know, buy the shitty one, because, you know, who cares? The controller is going to be roughly the same anyway. So we bought this like $25 Logitech controller. What the fuck are these shitty moves, dude? No. Oh shit, sorry. No. Don't buy this. No, don't learn this move. I always mix up my words there. Yeah, so she went out and bought this Logitech controller. I went with her and I picked it out, right? And she was telling me, she's just like, you know, this controller, it's $20, but the Xbox One is $50-$60. It isn't that much of a jump, and like, if you're never gonna use this, it's not worth purchasing. It's like waste of money, right? And I was like, nah, you know, like, it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And as soon as I opened the box and I held it in my hands, I realized what a mistake I made, because if any of you have ever used this Logitech controller, what the fuck? How did he live this time? I'm gonna heal up just in case. I've learned my lesson. At least I hope I have, you know. Anyway, yeah, if any of you have ever used this Logitech controller, it just feels like shit. Like, the L and R buttons are like extremely stiff. They're very, very not suited to be used, and the setup, like, in your hands just doesn't feel right. Like, it's just very stiff and not very it's just not conducive to the cause, you know. Like, it's definitely not the kind of controller that you'd be happy playing with. You could do it. It's not like you couldn't do it, but if I ever had the choice of playing between on my computer or with the controller, I always chose the keyboard and mouse because it was just way more comfortable. And so this year, or last year, I don't remember, she just got me the Xbox 360 controller instead, because she knew that I would actually use it. And you know, she gave me a lot of shit for it, because she's just like, I could have saved that $20. You could have used this controller the whole time if you weren't just a dumb piece of shit. And, you know, I got nothing to say to that, because it's just completely true. I'm terrible at shopping, just terrible. Like, I'm not a very materialistic person in general. Like, even ever since I was a kid, I just never really wanted a lot of stuff. Like, I would want certain games and game systems, but I remember as a child, I would get 2 games a year, one on my birthday, one on Christmas, and I would not buy anything for the rest of the year. Like, I wouldn't buy any other objects or toys, just because I really didn't want anything. Like, it's just one of those things that, that's not true. I used to buy a lot of books, actually. But I was never really someone that was good at shopping, because I never had the desire for things. Like, when I see things, when I go shopping, I never think to myself, oh, like, I really want that, because I just don't. Like, I just really don't. And as a result, I'm very, very... Why is it suddenly that this thing can live? Like, I was one-shotting it every time earlier. That's super weird. Yeah, I don't know. And I also never really... This meant that I'm very bad at finding the right deal for games, number one. Or not games, just objects in general. I always buy the first thing that I see, because I don't enjoy the process of shopping, and I also don't have a sense of what I actually want. Like, it's usually like, what's a good example? Like for example, the first time I went grocery shopping, I wanted to make chili. I didn't have any ingredients at my house. I was living on residence at my university, and I knew that I wanted chili, and I had the ingredient list with me, and I was just like, oh, all these spices. I'm just gonna go buy them. And the first ones I saw were those fancy brand name ones in the hexagonal glass case. I don't know what the brand is, but like I recognize the case. Like it's a really nice shaker. It's like all glass, very heavy. And then I remember the spices themselves, they ended up being like $40 or something, because I bought like cayenne pepper, cumin, and chili powder, and just that was like $40 because I just bought like the brand name version. And with spices especially, I would say that unless you're like a real aficionado of these sort of things, you can't really tell the difference between the no name and the brand names. But I just didn't think about it. I was just like, oh, I want to get the shopping done as efficiently as possible, which to me meant as quickly as possible. And so I end up wasting like a lot of money whenever I shop, because I don't know how to find deals. And I also like really hate finding deals. Not because I don't like saving money, but just because like I hate browsing around for things. Like I always hated going shopping with my parents when I was a kid, and I never did it for myself. Even as in like an adult, I never go shopping, just because if I want something, I'll buy it online, and then I won't like I don't look around for deals either, which is a really bad habit for me. But yeah, this also means that oh fuck, I did the thing again. Okay, good thing he detected. I'm also really, really bad at buying gifts. I'm just a terrible gift giver, because like to me, I just can never imagine what someone else would want, because to me, I don't want anything. Like I can sort of get the sense sometimes, but like someone explained this to me, that the best gifts are items that they would use but would never buy for themselves. And to me, that statement means nothing. Like I understand the sentiment behind the statement, but it just means nothing to me, because oh, this is a cool move, by the way. I'm going to go into this later. Because to me, there's nothing that I want that I wouldn't buy for myself. Because if I want it, then I would usually buy it. Because I don't want things for... I don't really want, like, frivolous things, usually. Like, I very rarely feel like I regret a purchase if I actually wanted it. I do regret a lot of purchases, because I feel a lot of the time that I should buy something. Like if I'm on vacation and, I'm in a foreign country, I will buy something usually just because I feel the need to buy something. I feel like this is what people do. This is what like regular humans do, is they buy something when they're on vacation so that they have some sort of memento of their trip. And yeah, I always regret those purchases because it's something that I didn't really want. Like, I never feel the need to... Like, I never see something, and I'm just like, oh, I really want that, but it's such, like, a wasteful purchase, and, so I would never get it. Because usually if I feel like it's not worth it, like, to me, if it's not worth it, then it's definitely not worth it, because I don't know how to look for deals at all. So anything that I see that I think is not worth it is almost guaranteed to be not worth it. You know what I mean? I said worth a lot in that sentence. I hope that, you guys could still follow along there. But yeah, like, it was just, gift giving actually gives me physical... What the fuck? Why is this guy living... What is happening here? Like, the jump kick. I don't know. Yeah, gift giving gives me, like, physical anxiety. Like, I actually dislike Christmas. Not dislike Christmas, but Christmas gives me a lot of stress for that reason. Like, not because of the usual reasons that people don't like the holidays, like they're afraid to be alone, or they have to see family. Like, I'm on very good terms with my friends and family. I always look forward to seeing them. Well, I see them all the time, but it's just another celebration. There's nothing wrong with that. But giving gifts is just such a stressful experience for myself. And also every year, I'm also a very difficult person to buy gifts before, because I don't want anything. I don't want anything, and anything that I do want, I usually buy for myself regardless. Like, sometimes I'll want a game on Steam or whatever, and I'll just buy it because, it's like a $15, $20 purchase. I usually don't buy anything over that amount on impulse. Like, I usually give myself some time to consider if I actually want it before I buy it. So every year since I was like maybe 12 or 13, I either get reimbursed for something that I bought myself, like a big purchase, or I get cash money. That's usually my gifts, and I'm totally okay with that, because that's sort of like, I feel like if everybody wasn't so enamored with the sentiment of gifts, like this idea that, someone went out of their way to buy this for you and like really spent time to think about you. I think money is just much more practical. Like, I think that between giving a gift card and giving cash, I would much rather get cash 100% of the time. But for some reason, getting a gift card is like better regarded. I guess it's the idea that, you thought about what store that they might want something from, and that therefore you're getting a gift card for them for this specific store. So there's more empathy involved there. I always hear that gift giving is like the ultimate form of empathy. Not ultimate form. It's like what's a good way to put it? It's just a way to express empathy that is that it gives you an excuse to express how much you care about somebody or how much you're thinking about somebody. Because to buy a gift, you have to put yourself in their shoes and think to yourself, well, what would this person want? And when you figure out what they want, then you can buy them an appropriate gift. Because, like, for example, one of my good friends, when she first started dating this guy, he's a really cheap dude. I don't know much about him other than he's very stringent with his money because he has a lot of bills to pay and everything like that, and he doesn't make that much. So of course he's very stringent with his money. But for Christmas, he bought her a 3DS. And she is somebody who, she's okay with games. She respects them. She plays them from time to time. But by no means is she someone who, loves video games the same way that I do or that he does. And so I'm actually going to try how much foul play does here. So he got her a 3DS, and it cost, like not a small amount of money. I think it was about $150. And for him, this is like a huge purchase. And so she understood this because, she's with him and she knows who he is. She understood that for him, this is like, oh, what a big purchase. This is because he really cares about me. That's why he bought this for me. But at the same time, it isn't something that, holy shit. All right, I'm going to heal up first. What was I even saying? At the same time, it wasn't a gift that she would have wanted. This isn't something that she would want. This is something that he would want. If someone bought him a 3DS, then he would be very happy. Number one, because it's very expensive. And number two, because he would actually really like it. For her, the 3DS is sort of one of those things that if it's in her life, she may use it, once or twice a year. But she wasn't extremely excited about it because she's not a gamer. Like, this isn't something that she would want to use very often. And so that really struck me because I was thinking, this is something where gift giving is really about giving something that the other person would want, not something that you would want. And so the people that are good at giving gifts, people that are good at gift giving are usually the most empathetic people. And, for me, I always struggle with empathy, but well, I struggle with empathy a little bit, like it doesn't come as naturally to me as it does to others, but also I really struggle with gift giving in particular because it combines struggling with empathy and struggling with shopping. So I end up, usually I end up in like a panic around the 22nd, 23rd, which is, today, but yeah, I end up in a huge panic during this period of time, like right before the holidays or right before a birthday. And then I usually end up buying something like on impulse because I see this and I'm just like, this could maybe work. And that's the one I did. Like a good example is last year for Christmas, I was out with my parents. We were at London Drugs. And I don't know if you guys have London Drugs in the States, actually. It might be a Canadian drugstore chain. But anyway, London Drugs, for those that don't know, is like one of those drugstores that hold all the stuff that you would need. Like they have like an appliance section, an electronics section, a camera section. It's just one of those kind of places. And I remember going to London Drugs, looking around for something, and I saw a French press coffee maker. And I thought to myself, oh, my girlfriend really likes coffee. She drinks a lot of coffee. So I thought I'm gonna buy her this French press coffee machine. And I remember why I thought that, because she broke a French press that day, or that week. We were at her house and she dropped their house's French press. So I'm just like, oh, I'll buy her a new French press. She's gonna like this. And then what ended up happening is I realized that she actually doesn't like French press coffee. She hates the way that it tastes, because she says it gets really grainy at the end. And she told me this earlier too. She said, don't buy me a French press coffee machine because I don't like French press coffee. And it just didn't even, like, I just totally forgot about it because I saw it and, you know, my eyes glazed over and I was just like, oh, this is a gift that might work. We're just gonna go with it. And yeah, because, you know, of course she understands that I am who I am. She knows that I'm an idiot. She, you know, she still appreciated that I went out and got that. But she knows that I'm terrible at giving gifts, which is sort of unfortunate because she likes to receive gifts. But yeah, you know, we live with it. Just, it's okay, you know, can't always be perfect. But oh, excuse me. Slash is good. Slash is probably better than Crush Claw. Well, how much base power is this? Oh, it's way less. Oh, it's way less worth than Crush Claw. Give up. Yeah, give up on Slash. Okay. So we're chugging along here. Yeah, this year actually, she decided to buy all the gifts for, not only for me, but also for everybody involved, basically. She bought herself a gift, like a big jacket, that, you know, a big winter jacket, because she's always cold and she's always been looking for one. And she also bought gifts for, like, my family. Oh shit, I need a gift for my brother. Oh god, I totally forgot about this. Okay, I'll probably buy him something on Steam. That seems like the most... Oh god, don't crit me like that. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm gonna buy my brother something on Steam. He's a 16-year-old boy. He plays a lot of video games as well. I think that'll go well. Yeah. He usually, like, me and him, I have a good relationship with my brother. He's you know, we live in the same place, and you know, we talk occasionally. But we're always really casual with these gifts. Like, my brother's actually a really good gift giver. He's one of those kids that, as a child, for, like, Mother's Day or for my mom's birthday, he would make her a gift. Like, he would make her, like, a handwritten note and, like, make her breakfast in bed, sort of things like that. Like, I would always buy my mom, like, chocolates or, like, a book. Usually, like, I would buy her I actually remember I bought her Ferrero Rochers 2 years in a row, like 2 holidays in a row. And she's allergic to them. And she told me the first time, I just don't remember. Like, I didn't remember the second time. So, yeah, he's, like, one of those people. But because, like, I'm so nonchalant about gifts, like, he always gets me something really casual. I always get him something really casual. For a few years there, I remember I was in charge of our shared console, which is the Wii. Like, it was my Wii, but of course he could use it whenever he wanted. It wasn't like I was one of those brothers where he wasn't allowed to use it. But I remember that... whenever he did poorly in school, like if he wasn't doing his homework or he like behaved poorly in school, I would take away his right to use the Wii for like, you know, a week or something like that. And I remember it added up so much that he wasn't allowed to use it for like months. And then I just kept reducing the amount of punishment that he got for every birthday or Christmas. And he was okay with that. You know, he's not that big on, actually he is really big on gifts. Wow, I may have not been, the best when I may not have been the best brother growing up. Well, I was pretty good to him, but I definitely wasn't treating him that well, I guess is the best way to put that. Oh, Zoroark evolved. Good stuff. Okay, let's take a look at how strong it is. 86 special attack. Jesus Christ. That's quite good. Okay, so Foul Play. This is a really cool move. I forgot to mention this. Foul Play is a really, really cool move. Basically, why is he holding a charcoal still? You can tell I get quite distracted. I don't have ADHD or anything like that. It's just, especially when I'm talking only to myself. Like, not to myself. Of course, I'm talking to whoever's watching, but, you know, to me, when I'm recording, it seems like I'm talking to myself. I get sidetracked a lot. There's a lot of topics going on in my head. Or not topics. There's a lot of, like, there's a lot of sentences that are being formed in my head, but my mouth just can't keep up with what's going on, basically. But anyway, Foul Play, the move that I was trying to talk about. It's a dark type move, and it's really cool to introduce it this generation. I really like the concept. Basically, instead of using your attack stat, like you see for Zoroark here, let me just pull that up here. For Zoroark here, he's 78 attack. So instead of using 78 attack in the damage calculation, when you use Foul Play, you use your opponent's attack stat. So if your opponent has 100 attack, they get hit on 100 attack Foul Play using using your stat, basically. So whatever attack stat your opponent has, that's how the damage calculation is set up. So what ended up happening is that foul play became a staple move on Pokemon that are very, very defensive, such as like dark type Pokemon that are defensive, of course, such as Mandibuzz, which is a bird from this generation, or what's his face? Umbreon. Umbreon is a really good example. They have very, very poor attack stat on their own, but they're very defensive. So they can take a hit from something that is very offensively oriented, but they can also now hit very hard back at them because they have this move, Foul Play, that uses their own attack stat against them. It's a really, really cool move. On Zoroark, of course, it's not as good because Zoroark has pretty good attack stat on its own, which is why I also took a Night Slash. Night Slash is pretty cool. This is cool. This is like in surfing, you know, those like the dust storms or like the shaking grass, the water, it looks like that. What was I gonna do? I think I'm actually gonna take off EXP share here. I don't need to take off EXP share. Alright, we're gonna fight this guy one more time and then we're probably gonna end the episode here. So yeah, what was I talking about before this? It was yeah, gift giving. Yeah, basically I'm just a shitty gift giver. My girlfriend bought all the gifts for my family this year. She bought something nice for my mom, and I'm just gonna like pay for it, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much our deal, is that she picks it out and then I pay. Or I guess we split it. So she's really just doing me the favor. Like she's really great. Like I really appreciate her because, you know, without her I probably I'm just more of a fuck up in general by myself, and she covers up a lot of my weaknesses, which feels really, really good. You know, that's ideal in your, you know, whatever partner that you want, is that you guys complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. Like if we were both really bad at gift giving, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but you know, it would end up that we would just be like the shitty gift giving couple. Of course, I don't want to give the impression that I'm just like a shitty boyfriend and she does everything for me. Like I always clean up instead of her because she doesn't like to clean. So it's just sort of like a give and take. But I really, really appreciate that she can buy so many gifts and she can do it so well because I'm just shit at it, just garbage. All right, so on that note, I guess we're gonna end the episode. You know, if you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. You know, it helps me out a lot. I always enjoy reading those comments. Make me feel like you know, people are enjoying it, and it makes me enjoy the process more as well. It feels like I have somebody that I'm talking to. And yeah, as always, if you like the episode, oh shit. Okay, I'm not gonna end it just yet because of this Audino. The rule is whenever you see Audino, you gotta fight it. But anyway, yeah, if you like the episode, tune in again tomorrow for another one. Today, probably another episode's gonna go up of Hyper Light Drifter. We're gonna record some episodes of that today. I'm looking forward to what kind of game it's gonna be. I saw the trailers. I'm really hyped up. It's probably going to be a good time. Oh, he has a berry as well. Yeah, orange berry. Okay. Yeah, I love fighting Audinos. It's just the best thing in the world. Oh. Okay. So, with that done, we're gonna end the episode here. So, once again, thanks so much, and tune in again for another one tomorrow. Bye.